Okay, guys, real quick, I want to talk about this because this is probably the number one topic that gets ran by me more than anything when it comes to relationships. I deal with a lot of boyfriend, girlfriend struggling, like people reaching out to me, like, hey, I can't stop thinking about him. He broke my heart. He's done this to me, he done that to me. We went through all this, and I just can't give up on him, and I'm so miserable, and I'm so depressed, and I don't know what to do, and my life is over. And so this is what I want to talk about because I really you need to understand something when it comes to relationships and what God says about those relationships, and especially this verse, because this verse I had to work through these things as well. You know what I mean? Like after sleeping around, going with these girls, breaking up in and out of relationships. Like I had to, get through a lot of stuff. But there's this one verse that really opened my eyes to a lot of things and really helped me begin to break off some things in my life. And so this is the main thing I want you to understand, because 1 Corinthians 6:16, Paul says something in there. And this is what he says. He says, do you not know that when you sleep with a prostitute, that you become one flesh? And so Paul's saying that because people don't understand that when you have sex with somebody, anybody, it doesn't matter who it is, that you become one. And in the Christian world, we call it soul ties. Because not only do you become one physically, but your mental and your emotional state and those things begin to tie together in with another person. And so even if that person treats you like crap and they're being awful to you and they're just tormenting, you don't know what to do because you can't stop thinking about them. You're just thinking about them, and your emotions are in them, and your desires are set on them, and your hopes are set on them, and you're struggling with all these things. And so Paul says, he says, when you begin to sleep with people, he says, be very, very careful who you choose to give yourself to. Even Romans 12:3 says this, that God has a good, perfect, and pleasing will. And ultimately, that means there's only one person that God has designed to be with you that is good, perfect, and pleasing to Him. And it's important that we find that, because I can say this, if you're in a relationship right now and you haven't even asked God about it, two words: stupid. Listen, if God created you and He knows how to fulfill the voids within you, and you're not even asking Him whenever you're getting hooked up with people, it's crazy. And I understand because I've been there and I've done that. I didn't know how to trust God or talk to God. But what happens is we begin to rely on our own understanding that we know what's perfect for us. And really, that's whenever everything falls apart and we fall into destruction and these things. Because what happened is that person becomes the greatest desire of our heart. That person becomes the greatest hope of our heart and all fulfillment and all voids. And we try to fulfill everything with that one individual, and God's a jealous God. He designed you, He created you, and He even says, listen, you shall not put anything before me. You know, and in one verse, I got it tattooed, me and my wife got it tattooed on our sides. 1 Colossians 1:17 says, He is before all things, and in Him all things hold together. So when you put God first, everything else is held together. Matthew 6:33, seek first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added to you. See, when you put God first, everything else comes together. But whenever you try to put your boyfriend or your girlfriend first, and you're not living for God or even acknowledge Him, and then you tie yourself in together with that person, and then you're emotionally and physically and mentally tied in together with this person, and then they're being mean to you and they split up with you and you break up and you're being tormented and you know what to do because you can't stop thinking about it. Your emotions are all messed up, your desires are all bent, and you feel like this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to you, and you're missing your moment and you'll do anything to get it back. You don't care if he treats you like a piece of crap or she treats you like a piece of crap the rest of your life. There's a saying in the Bible that a dog returns to his own vomit. So you have to be careful, because the truth is there's only one. There's only one. Out of the multiple, out of the hundreds, out of the thousands, there's only one. And you have got to find that one. So wherever you are, whatever you're dealing with, I just really encourage you to begin to talk to God. Just pray to God. Ask God, listen, if this person is not for you, ask God to help you to begin to break that things. And you can't be so close-minded with God, like, God, I know this person's for me, so help me. No, just be real with God. God, is this what is perfect and pleasing and good for me? Because that's what I want. I want whatever it is that's best for me, because I don't know what that is. And when you come to those terms with God and you begin to talk to God, God's going to help you. He's going to help you. If they're not for you, He's going to help you break those things off. He's going to help you break that mental, emotional, physical bond that you've tied yourself to, and then keep you. But it's important that you begin to talk to Him and trust Him to find the one that's right for you. So I just wanted to encourage you with that, and really just speak that word over your life.